Today we're taking a look at the all-new Milwaukee M18 FUEL cordless compressor. We're going to go over all the specs. We'll talk about some of the ways this thing will make your life so much easier. We're going to look at build quality and talk about some of its limitations. We're even going to make this thing go Rambo mode. So sit back, relax, here we go. Why would you need a completely 100% battery powered air compressor? Well, let's talk about this. I do a lot of woodworking and sometimes I just don't want to be in the shop. I want to be outside where it's nice. I just don't want to drag a cord around. But what really comes to mind is automotive, mechanic work, roadside assistance. I think this is where this type of compressor would really shine. But that said, we are going to put this through a bunch of different tests to see what it can do, what the limitations are on it. But first, let's see how this thing functions. On the back here is where your battery placement goes. Really, it's underneath. So if I flip this up like that, the battery's hidden. It's protected from the elements. If it rains and all that good stuff, don't really have to worry about it unless it's splashing up from underneath, which I still think you're going to be okay. Now for batteries, I would definitely go with something larger, such as the 12Ah high output. Simply take your battery, and that's all you got to do. Now it's ready to go. So right here is your on and off switch. If I want to turn it on, I just simply go this way with it. If I want to turn it off, just go that way with it. Now the one thing I noticed about this was how quiet it was. As soon as I turned it on, well, you can still hear me talking perfectly fine. So if you want to carry on a conversation with your buddy or your coworker, I don't think you're going to have any issue with that. All right, let's bring this up to our max PSI 135. So there you go, you can see it shuts off automatically at 135. If I want to adjust my nailer or whatever tool I'm using, I can turn this like so. Now, here's one of the issues that I have with this. It's not the easiest to turn. The further up you go, the easier it is, but when you start cranking it down, it gets pretty tight. So you really do have to put a little bit of muscle into turning that. So, not a huge fan of that. I'll also let you know that for the size of this, it's pretty heavy. It's not the lightest compressor in the world, especially for the size. That said, I don't really have a huge issue with that because it's actually built very well. So I'd rather have it be a little bit heavy and built better than lighter and cheaper. That said, you also do have a handle right here that allows you to take this, pick it up, and bring it where you need to go. You got the metal framing go around, you got the metal legs under here. If you drop it, the inside should be protected. You don't have to worry about it being banged up too much. And you also got a couple feet on the back here that you can lay it down like so if you want. Now on the back side of the tank, if you want to release the moisture out of there, just simply turn this lever right here, and that's it. You can also release your air right here on the side like so. Now as far as it goes with filling up the tank, it's definitely not the fastest compressor I've ever used, but it's definitely not the slowest either. So it's going to take you a couple minutes to get all of that air into that tank and get ready to use. But that being said, when it's done, it holds that air very, very well inside those tanks. I don't hear any release, I don't hear any leaking. So far, so good. But what about the using and abusing? Today I got my rigid 21-degree framing nailer. We're gonna hook this up and see how many nails we can shoot, how fast we can shoot them, and if this compressor will hold up and take the abuse. Let's go ahead and plug our hose in. So right here I got my treated 4x4. We're just gonna start sinking these nails, driving them down through all the way until this thing just can't do it anymore, or we start seeing those nails not being able to drive all the way down. So we're on single shot right now. Let's see what it can do. All right, single shot mode, I don't think you're gonna have any issue, especially with your pin nailers, your finished nailers, your brad nailers, not an issue. Even with the framing nailer, I think if you work at that pace, you're good to go. But let's kick it up Rambo style. Right now, we're gonna flip this to the Rambo mode. You gotta be honest, I like the name Clint Bow a lot better.
Nothing is over! Nothing!
So you can see that PSI drop pretty quick when we were in Rambo style. So if you're working that quickly, it might not be the best compressor for you out on the job site. As far as it goes with your air wrenches, I think you're going to be okay if you're only taking off a lug bolt every once in a while, maybe putting one on, but if you're a NASCAR, it's not going to work out for you all that well. However, tire inflation is real nice like. Now remember, this only has a 2-gallon tank, so you're not going to be able to do any type of painting other than maybe airbrushing. And even though you could shoot probably up to 1,800 nails on a charge, that is with this constantly rebuilding air. I really would not use a framing nailer with this compressor unless you're going at a slower pace. But that said, your staples, your brad nails, your finish nails, I think you're going to be absolutely fine with this compressor. But where I really think that this compressor shines is blowing out tires, roadside assistance, mechanic, maintenance work, automotive techs. You know, I think if you're using rivet guns, I think if you're using some smaller tools, maybe some die grinders or whatever, I think this compressor is excellent for that type of work. It takes a little bit longer to build up that PSI, but once it's there, it holds steady. This adjustment here is a little bit harder to use, but once you get it to where you want it to go, it works great on regulating that airflow. And I'll tell you one more area this would shine is around the house. I know Milwaukee wants to put their stuff out on the job site, but I'm telling you, if you have something like this around the house, if you got kids, toys, or blow up stuff for your pool or whatever, I have used this so much lately. It has really come in handy, and I love how easy and portable it is. I can take it anywhere. It's great for that. You just got to remember there are limitations to it, and I think if you can stay within the scope of what this is meant for, you know, some mechanic work, some automotive work, smaller nailers, woodworking, something you're just not, you know, if you're a roofer, it ain't happening for you. But if you stay within the scope of what this can do, you're really going to like it. I think it's built very, very well. At only around 65 or 68 dB, it's the quietest portable air compressor on the market today. So what I'm going to do is leave a link for this compressor in the description below. I'll let you check it out for yourself. The price is there, the specs are there, all that good stuff. If you like this video or if it helped you in any sort of way, please smash that like button, as it's greatly appreciated. And if you like these type of videos, I'll put a couple more right here for you to check out. Don't forget to get subscribed, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any more tool reviews coming your way. Appreciate you stopping by. We'll be back soon.